Alright, RPGamer here at E3 2015, and we're about to check out Cosmic Star Heroine, but this time it's special because not only are we going to see some gameplay, but we're here with the man who made it himself.
One of the men who made it.
Okay. So which of the men who made it themselves is this one?
Yeah, I'm Robert Boyd. I did the general design and programming, and my partner, Bill Sternberg, wasn't able to make it today. He was in charge of graphics, animation, level design,
So a good fair split between the two of you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we split it pretty evenly, half and half. And also, Hyperduck Soundworks is not, officially part of Zeboyd Games, but they are doing the music and sound effects for this game, and they've done an amazing job. I really like the soundtrack, and much longer than any of our previous soundtracks as well.
So for people who may not be familiar with the game, can you give us a little rundown?
Sure, it's a classic 16-bit, 32-bit style, RPG inspired by many of the greats like Chrono Trigger, Phantasy Star, Lunar, and in this game, Lissa is the main character. She's a secret agent for the galactic government, and on a mission, she uncovers a conspiracy that threatens the entire fabric of everything, and she has to save the day while everyone's trying to stop her. And it's a mix of magic and sci-fi together, a lot like the old Phantasy Star games.
So what are you guys showing off today at E3?
Okay, what we're showing off today is one of the early sections of the game where they're on the surface of Romu, I believe, where it's been completely devastated by war, lots of mutations and stuff. They're investigating old abandoned laboratory on the planet where they're afraid that a terrorist sect is going to break in and steal a bunch of high-tech weaponry. So they're here to investigate, and lots of bad stuff happens.
So it's Alyssa here with our two team members who are following them. It's
two of her team members. Her best friend Sean, who is a gunmancer, so she can summon guns to fight for her. And Dave is another member of the agency. He's an elite hacker, so he's got a tablet and he uses it to do all of his attacks in combat.
I'm curious.
Yeah, right there you can see their different abilities, and eventually you're gonna have lots of abilities. You have to choose which ones to take into battle with you.
Up to 4 party members?
Yeah, up to 4 party members. If I remember right, there's 11 total, but yeah, 4 at a time.
I'm curious, when Dave attacks, does he just tap his tablet and things burst out of it?
Yeah, pretty much. You'll see it in a few minutes when he gets into a battle. As you can see, it's a big step up from our last few games in presentation and everything. But yeah, there he's like using his tablet. If you head up there's a battle you can get into and see how it works. Yeah, we don't have a traditional MP system in this game. Instead, most of the abilities you can use once, and then you have to use a recharge ability to restore everything. I thought we'd do that to try to encourage people to use all of the abilities at their command instead of just focusing on generic attacks over and over to save MP for boss fights. Here you see she's all glowing. That means that her hyper mode is activated, and this turn she does a lot more damage than she would otherwise.
How do you build up your hyper mode?
It just automatically goes up by 1 each turn. You see the little turquoise-ish dots underneath your health bar. And see there, he's stunned the enemy, so they're gonna skip their next turn.
Available on Vita as well as PlayStation 4?
Yeah, we're going for PS4, Vita, Steam with PC, Mac, Linux. Also probably on Humble Store as well. Yeah, maybe Good Old Games. We haven't contacted them, but probably. And yeah, we're probably gonna put it on the Xbox One as well after we're done with this. that's the plan. And right now we're shooting for the end of the year. Just explaining some of the parts of the battle system. Like in all of our past games, enemies would gradually get more powerful as the battle progressed. And in this game, also, your characters can build up their style percentage, which makes them more and more powerful. Attacks deal more damage. Your ailments are more likely to work and that sort of thing. So between the style and also the hyper mode, we really tried to get flow of combat where you're not just using the same ability over and over. You're planning ahead, trying to figure out what to do next turn, so that you'll do ultimate damage with, taking advantage of hyper, taking advantage of your style, and so forth.
How long have you been working on Cosmic Star?
We started we've been planning it for forever, but we started actually, heavy duty working on it a little before the Kickstarter, which was towards the end of 2013. So we're coming up on 2 years now.
Finish line's so close.
Yeah, it was supposed to be finished last year, but it's taken us a little longer than we had hoped. But all of our previous games only took 1 year, so the fact that we spent about 2 years already means it's much more polished and sophisticated and longer than our other games.
Adventure, right? You'll be traveling the stars, visiting lots of different worlds.
Yeah, we've got 3 main worlds in the game, and we have this world, which is Romu, which on the surface is this kind of mutated, forest and lots of monsters and stuff, with most of the people living underground, kind of a caves of steel sort of situation. And then we have Arenu, which is a big, skyscrapers, lots of evil corporations kind of deal. And then finally we have the planet of Nulu, which is a very peaceful, peaceful tropical kind of planet with this race of, half human, half ghost-like creatures.
Sounds interesting.
Yeah. So those are the 3 main planets, and we might throw in an asteroid or 2 in addition. But mostly you'll be adventuring between those 3 planets. We figured 3 planets was good for Phantasy Star, so why not us?
Is this your first big sci-fi game?
Yeah, I mean, our Breath of Death 7 was fantasy undead, and Cthulhu was fantasy with a horror comedy bent, and then Penny Arcade 3 and 4 were kind of a steampunk aesthetic. So this is the first full-blown epic sci-fi adventure that we've done, and Bill has just been raving about how fun it is because he gets to do all sorts of crazy machines and alien planets and strange life forms. Lots of fun stuff to draw.
I'm sure plenty of Phantasy Star references, Star Trek references, all of it, right?
Oh, of course. We're trying to make it a little more serious than our previous games, but I mean, I can't make anything too serious. I mean, we throw plenty of jokes in here and there.
Yeah, I noticed the cat girl ears in the chest.
Right. I mean, in the actual game, treasure chests will usually give you something useful, but we thought since it's a convention, we made most of them just gags. And I mean, there are a couple pieces of equipment you can get in the demo too, but mostly they're just jokes. And, like there's a Suikoden joke in one of the treasure chests later, and run into is that if you have enough style and an attack would normally kill you, your HP will actually go into negative and you'll stay alive for one more turn, during which you can either try to heal up or win the battle, and then your character's gone. We thought that was kind of a cool mechanic they had in the Borderlands games, giving you a second chance to, pull things off at the last minute. And here it's talking about items, and like the Penny Arcade RPGs that we did, your items automatically regenerate between battles. So yeah, you don't have to hoard all your potions and stuff like you do in most RPGs. You can pick a few interesting ones and use them whenever they're useful in combat. And then the programs are based on what shield you have. You kind of access, a little mini secondary class for the character, giving them a few extra abilities that they can use to round out their character or to focus on their strong points.
How's the feedback been so far at the show?
It's been great. We've had lots of people come over. Some people have played through the entire thing, which is impressive given how much there is to do at E3 and how long it is, because it's an RPG. It's a little longer than some of the demos here. And then we've got other people who will play like through the first battle, and they'll be like, "This is amazing. I don't want to spoil the rest of the game. I want to play, at home in my nice, comfy chair." And but it's been great. We've had lots of great feedback, and we're really excited to be able to show it here at E3 because this is the first time we've been able to show a game off here. And yeah, we showed this demo off at the PlayStation Experience, but since then we've been able to add various improvements. So like this one has full sound effects for combat, which we didn't have before, and the main menu didn't work in the previous one, and now you can go in and check your stats and change equipment and all that. Yeah, plus we've just generally sped up combat a little since the last demo that we did. Because, you spend so much time in combat, you want it to be spent doing interesting things and not, just waiting for each animation to take forever to finish.
So at this phase of development, you're just in the polishing phases?
We are, almost done finishing off all of the assets for the game. And then once that's done, it's mostly just a matter of going through each scenario and making sure like all the, all the triggers happen, all the events, the enemies are in the right place, and so we're getting pretty close to the final stage, and we're going to do a beta for some of our Kickstarter backers, and hopefully they'll help us catch any of the bugs that we miss, and we'll be able to release it fairly soon. Trigger joke if you examine the wall over there. In fact, we threw in a lot of silly jokes here and there if you examine the right things. We have lots of different portraits based on the character's emotions, so it changes depending on what they're saying. So you won't get the super happy portrait when somebody just died. Getting pretty close to the end of the demo. There's just a couple more battles and then the final boss.
Has anyone managed to beat the boss?
Yeah, the demo's actually at a fairly low level of difficulty, just because we're throwing a bunch of tutorials at people, and this isn't exactly an optimal place to be playing a video game. But in the actual game, like our previous games, you'll be able to select what difficulty you want. So, if you want to just focus mostly on the story, you can pick an easier one. Or if you want to really get into the gameplay systems, you can pick one of the more challenging difficulties. Actually one of the battles in the demo that you can completely skip if you just time your run right. You're able to sneak past these guys because they don't have a very large trigger area. So like Chrono Trigger, some of the battles are mandatory, some of them you can avoid if you're careful enough. Hacking mini game, but we haven't implemented it fully in the demo. Plus, since Dave's currently in your party, it makes sense that he just hack everything for us automatically. He's the hacker. But later on, when you just have a list in your party, you have to do some hacking of your own, which we've patterned it loosely based on Shin Megami Tensei negotiation systems, where you have to talk your way past the anti-hacking protocols.
You sold one more extra copy.
Well, I mean, for years I've been trying to talk Bill into making a dating sim, but he's been against it, at every step.
So this is close as it gets.
This is as close as it gets, yeah. Also paying attention to every object people try to interact with, so I know, what to add examine dialogue to. Yeah, the boss is just right after this battle.
the negative chance, right?
Yeah. So if Alyssa doesn't get healed immediately, she's gonna die right afterwards. But yeah, they just healed her up. Boss is defeated. this is the end of the demo. It's gonna. Right there.
Great. Thank you for taking the time to explain every little thing.
And thanks for coming by and checking it out. And yeah, that's Cosmic Star Heroine, and will hopefully be out later this year for PS4, Vita, PC, and Xbox One, and any other platforms we decide to put it on.
I expect an Apple Watch version very soon.
Of course.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you.